Decker, swim dodge, fires and scores! Skipping a step behind the back! Pass, the extra look, and the goal! Shot on goal and good. On the Varsity Media Sports Network, and what an opening game we have for you tonight. A pair of defending Long Island champions as the Tigers of Northport, the defending Class A champions, come out to Mount Sinai to take on the Mustangs, the defending Class C champions, in a game presented by Bethpage Federal Savings. Good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler here with the coach of Farmingdale, Mike Hungerford, as well. And it could not be scripted better, Mike. I feel like as a curtain raiser for the lacrosse season, two teams certainly highly ranked by us at Varsity Media, highly ranked nationally as well. Two of the best teams around. This one should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, Dylan. I was driving out here today, and I have my own season starting tomorrow, but I'm so excited tonight to come see this. These guys start tonight. Two really good teams, two of the best public school teams in the state of New York, maybe in the country, in the preseason, and there's a lot of stars on display tonight and a lot of intriguing matchups as well. Absolutely.
You can see right there, number 6 in the Varsity Media preseason top 20 poll is Northport, right there, number 2. High standing for Mount Sinai, and for good reason. But we'll start off with Northport, and what a season they had last year. I don't think Larry Cerasi, their head coach, could have asked for a better opening year as a head coach, right? They win Suffolk, which is always incredibly difficult to do. They defeated Ward Melville by doing that. And then they, of course, beat Syosset in the Long Island Championship as well. A lot of the guys are back from that championship-winning team, which I think adds a little bit more of that intrigue that you mentioned, right, about Northport. Can they go again? And of course, too, this year, remember, a little bit more of a return to normalcy for lacrosse. So the road doesn't end at the Long Island Championship. You survive in advance. You get off Long Island, you play for a state championship. Northport has their sights set on that this year.
Sure, back to regular lacrosse, Dylan, a regular season. And we're only, if you think about it, today's the 8th day of the season, right? If everyone practiced 6 days and a couple more, and here we're on day 8 or day 9 of the season, right? And here we are, we're playing games right now. And, at the end of the season, you get to go all the way to the state final, which will be at Hofstra Stadium on June 12th, I believe it is. So it's a long way to go, and it's a great start.
Take a look at our impact player now for the Tigers, and one of the best in the country at his position is Drew Miller. Just still a junior. He's going to play at Army, but Miller is phenomenal. A year ago was a little bit wet behind the ears again, right? You missed the COVID year, so last year was the first time really when he was on the big stage, but what a season he had. Strong, physical, fast. This summer at every showcase you can go to, and obviously going to play at a very high level at Army.
Sure, he's got great size, he's got great speed, tremendous instincts in the transition game, coming up the field, a good decision maker with the ball. I think he's one of those guys, when he comes over the midfield line, even though he's got a pole in his hand, you have to treat him like an offensive threat. You better get in the hole and you better D him up. And he may run you over anyway because, like you said, as you alluded to before, he's got a tremendous physical stature.
Listen, you know that I love my pole goals, right? And Drew Miller can deliver pole goals for sure. Had a bunch of them last year as well, 10 on the season. In just, 16, 18 games. Mount Sinai, what a year they had a year ago. Again, number 2 in our poll, also very highly ranked nationally as well. But they were a team sort of, when you look at Mount Sinai, right, for the last couple of years, it's been them and Shoreham-Wading River, them. It's been a battle between the two of them. The championship game that a lot of people out here thought would occur never did, because Bayport, Blue Point, upset Shoreham-Wading River, right? So that was their only loss last year. Mount Sinai was a regular season defeat to Shoreham-Wading River, so they didn't get a chance to avenge that, but then they beat Bayport, Blue Point, and then in an epic, an incredible, maybe the game of the year on Long Island, defeated Manhasset in the Long Island Championship. That's a game that when we spoke with Mount Sinai head coach Harold Drum, he said that's a game that we've never had that quality of a win, right? Beating them in Hassett and all the guys they had, right? Aiden Mulholland and Joey Terenzi and all those dudes. That was a massive win for Mount Sinai. Now they're here to try to see what they can do, take the next step from that win.
Sure. I mean, every season's a new season, right, Dylan? You know, everything's a little different every year. It's got its own uniqueness to it. The team is formulated a different way. But Mount Sinai's got a lot of the pieces for a Class C school, you know, a small school, to be standing on the very last day of the year. I mean, they may see them in Hassett Indians looming again in the Long Island Championship, but, I mean, they have a lot of pieces back, including, obviously, the number one recruit in the country in Joey Spelina.
And that is our impact player tonight for the Mustangs. A junior year, probably unlike any other, right? 45 goals, 77 assists, and this is how he wins a Long Island Championship, wrapping around the goal in that epic win. Final seconds of that game against Manhasset. He is the number one recruit in the class of 2022, an exceptional lacrosse player, an incredible pedigree as well. He'll go on and play along with his brothers at Syracuse, and he's got a chance not only to continue his legacy this year, but do something really special, I think, in the college ranks as well.
Sure, he combines a lot of intangibles. He got tremendous lacrosse IQ. He's got tremendous lacrosse skills. One of the most skilled players I've ever seen play, and combines that with a good dose of athleticism. And he's got a great body to work with. And you know, he can do it all in the game. He can dodge. He can shoot. He can feed. He rides like a madman. We'll talk about that during the game. He's no part of the game he can't really contribute to.
Let's take a look at the starters right now. First for the visitors from Northport. Up front, Mike Meyer. He's back from last year as well. A Bucknell commit, had 40 goals and 21 assists a year ago. Jacob Stark and William Murphy are your attack line. Jack Hellriggle, Timmy Kirchner, and Dylan McNaughton at your first midfield. You see the Ds as well. Nick Valenti, Jack Sandrib, and John Alfiero. In goal for Northport, change this year is Luke Lamondola. We had a good look at Luke. We'll talk more about it in the Long Island Lacrosse Showcase, where he was a co-MVP, ironically, with Joey Spelina in the Rising Senior game. So Lamondola gets some confidence from that game, and now he'll get a chance on the big stage under the lights here to show off in Game 1. And, of course, the Tigers are coached, we said it before, Larry Ceresi. Not too far from here, went to Center Reach, graduate of 2003, played for Middle Country, went to Stony Brook, 7 years as a JV assistant at Northport, 3 years as an assistant coach. Let's take a look now at the Mustangs of Mount Sinai, and they are absolutely loaded on their attack, especially, we mentioned before, right? Spelina up front. How about Lucas LaForge? A year ago, as a freshman, 48 goals and 7 assists. Cole Marsala also. Quinnipiac, commit, lefty, shifty. A guy to watch as well on that attack line. Your first midfield of James Coretta, Gavin Takis, and Jake Spelina. Your Ds are Brett Spelina, Connor Mayer, and Colton Mayer, and Nick Jafaris. And in goal this year, again, is Braden Wilkin. Made 24 saves a year ago, but he was a first-time starter, so did get some action. A couple guys we didn't mention are the guys of the face-off X, and I think it's going to be a fun matchup there as we go to it right now. It's Austin Oppenheim from Mount Sinai. He's a Division I commit going to Albany, and he'll take on the Coop, Tyler Cooperanchek, going to Penn State.
Face-off game is definitely one of my keys to the game, Dylan, in terms of a few different things we'll talk about over the broadcast. I think are important to see who win this pretty big Titanic matchup here. And, Coop will be in there against a little bit of Oppenheim and a little bit of Spelina at the same time. Taking turns.
Yeah, you have to, when you say Spelina, though, of course, you've got to say which one, right? That would be Jake Spelina. There's 3 of them running around there today. And his dad, of course, in the stands as well. Procedure, so the first face-off goes to Mount Sinai.
Well, violation there, first face-off of the year, and Coop jumps a little early, gives the ball the first possession to Mount Sinai.
Yeah, a little excited.
Sure.
We understand that, right? Number 1 is Jake Spelina, junior, a year ago, 8 goals and 10 assists. Has a shorty matchup. Peels off of that, goes to X. Lowering the shoulder. Spelina behind the back. What a save by Lamondola. The ball is loose. Picked up. Looks like that's Jake Spelina.
Good ground ball off that rebound. Great first take by Joey going behind the goal and isolating. You're kind of going to see how Northport's going to play Joey over the course of the game. And are they going to provide help? Are they going to trust the guys one-on-one? We'll see.
Spelina loses it. The double comes. Picks it back up. That was Sandrup, 17. Turning, firing! And the first goal of the game goes to the sophomore, Lucas LaForge.
Joey Spelina is a relentless player with the ball. He plays with the ball 100 miles an hour all the time. He got a little caught up there, getting up to the 5x5, lost the ball, got it back. But you can't relax for a second when he's got the ball in his thing. He just keeps playing, and he finds LaForge in the middle of the field there, in the high slot up in there, high crease, turns and rips that ball into the goal.
59 seconds into this one. It is a 1-0 lead for Mount Sinai. It's LaForge scoring the goal. Back to the face-off X we go. Kuparanchek, wings come in, still loose. GB picked up by Mount Sinai. Lost, though, at midfield. This is what you love to see, too, right? Right out of the gate, both teams just, every ground ball is so important.
What you can see there was it looks like Kuparanchek won the clamp, and as he was trying to get out with it, a good defensive move to get the ball loose on the ground. And then, everybody forgets they face off a 3-man game. And your wing play is tremendous, and ground ball works tremendous. And Mount Sinai was able to come away with that ground ball and get a second possession.
Jake Spelina up top. He's got Tommy Butler D-mid on him. And a moving screen, it looked like, was called. And a little sticks entangled. Spelina involved with Nick Zimas. Zimas, a St. Anthony's transfer, brings a little bite to the Northport D. You can see it right there as well.
One thing Joey's very used to is, he's going to get everyone's best effort every game, right? Everyone's got something to prove a little bit, and that's how it's going to go.
First time we see Northport on the attack. They lose the ball, though. It's loose on the turf. Scooped up well by Wilkin. He gets dumped behind the net. Errant pass. It's LaForge, picks up the ground ball, and here come the Mustangs. Tick, tack. Oh, just wide of the net. That was Takis, the Stony Brook commit.
That great one-time feed from Joey Spelina, right? Gets the ball coming down the field and one-times it right across. That's another one of his strengths, is just knowing where to go with the ball every time.
And he's very much a team guy as well, and I think that's something special about him, that he's more about the win, right, than the personal glory, and he certainly gets a lot of that glory, understandably, as the #1 ranked recruit in the country. There is that matchup again. It is Zimas against Spelina. Spelina wraps the cage, off the bar.
They went with a little double pick, a little staggered double pick there, man. A little 2-man behind the goal, and they had the second pick kind of at that razor spot on the goal line extended and ran him off 2 picks. Joey's excellent in the 2-man game or the picking game and understanding what to do, coming off those picks.
Jake Spelina, 1-0 the score early on here at Mount Sinai under the lights, the opening game of the lacrosse season in 2022. We're so happy you're able to join us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Spelina dumps it down. That shot was saved. Another save by Lamondola. No backup, so it's Northport ball.
Ben, if you look in my
kind of exploiting some openings there on the inside. First game of the year, I have a Northport defense. One thing you can do when you play Joey Spelina, you can get caught ball watching a little bit because he's pretty mesmerizing.
And there he is in the ride you mentioned him before. Harassing Lamondola. Nearly Lamondola's attempted clearance went right into Spelina's stick. Fortunate that one didn't end up in the back of the net. And there they are again, right at midfield. And this time they do get the clear, and Northport can finally get back on attack. Or get on attack, really. They had their first attempt really last about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it came down. I think one of the big things about the first game of the year is, you practice these days, you got your offense you want to run, the things you want to do, and the question is, the kids get too excited a little bit the first game. Are you doing what you practiced? And a veteran team like Northport should be good.
And that's an over and back, and that's an errant pass Out from Mike Meyer out to the midfield. And look how quickly Mount Sinai looks to go. Spelina chops it towards the net. Lamondola, his third save of this first quarter.
Lamondola with a good low save right there. You know, that was a great look at the goal by Spelina right there. He got right down to the teeth of the defense and put that ball low. I think he'd like to have that one back, but a really nice save by Lamondola.
LaForge. This attack, which can certainly score goals in bunches. Mike getting a lot of looks early on in this first quarter.
Yeah, I think one of the other parts of the game we're going to take a look at, Dylan, is, you know, Mount Sinai is probably going to put a few less people in the game than Northport's very deep. And so the pace of the game is going to be interesting, how long they can maintain a certain pace playing less people.
Spelina behind the back again. I think that might hit the bar. Ball's loose, scooped up well by Coretta. And he gets it back out to Spelina. Here's Takis. Works it to LaForge at X. Looks for the screen. Gets one, wraps around the cage, shoots low. That one wide. This time backup was there, so the ball stays with Mount Sinai.
You got Miller right now. Looks like you got Drew Miller covering Coretta. Coretta's a Georgetown commit. Big, thick, strong guy. Plays both ends of the field. Great two-way midi. That's a pretty man matchup right there. Two guys, they're gonna go at it.
I joked with Larry Cerese. I said, listen, this is a dream matchup. Can we please have our dream one-on-one matchup of Spelina versus Miller? But he said, listen, you know, he's an LSM. Usually those guys deal with the midfielders. I get it, but Spelina, goal number 1 on the 2022 season.
One of those plays looks eerily familiar from the Manhasset game-winning goal, right? Setting that pick behind the goal, and Joey's very good at, you know, shooting that runner, that upfield runner. So they have the pick there set, kind of resets it, just gets a step and gets upfield and shoots that upfield runner. Very difficult to stop. He's shot that ball probably 10,000 times in his life. I mean, he's one of those guys, ultimate preparation, and you know, Northport's got to decide, you know, how you're going to handle that going forward, you know, with the with those picks.
2-0 the lead. 6:15 left in this first quarter. And another time where Kuparanchek jumped. Surprised at that early on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be critical, but you have, you know, two really good face-off guys who are doing a lot, and I like to know what's going on there if it's creating that, you know, because we're pretty far away, so we're not going to try to judge, but, you know, I'd like to see him face off.
Yeah. And one of the better ones in Suffolk County, certainly that, right? Going to Penn State. Spelina lowers the shoulder. Cuts inside. Didn't quite get the velocity he wanted on that shot. Clearance goes ahead. That's Zemas. Goes cross field. And now Northport can get going.
That was pretty good defense right there. Good tie-up right there by Zemas, you know, trying to tie his hand up. He didn't get a lot on that shot.
Here's Meyer. Gets harassed. Ball's loose. What great work there by the pole. That was Brett Spelina. Northport goes the other way. Tigers positionally, you would say, Mike, their strength this year are those poles.
Sure, very strong defensively. Seem to have a lot of middies that can play and get up and down the field. And, of course, Meyer back in attack was a great player for them a year ago.
There is Meyer. GLE. And an understandable, patient set here for a Northport team that hasn't had a lot of the ball.
Kind of working out of a circle right now, kind of getting a little ball action, just trying to maybe take a little time off the clock. They played a lot of defense. Now they'll get into a regular set here.
Yeah, turning out by midfield is Matty Webb. Senior, athletic, going to Springfield. Turns, double comes. Just getting whacked.
With a 1-4-1 mumbo set there, with a mumbo on one side, with a climb and a switch on the other.
Here's Meyer. Low to high. Nice stick save.
He can do that, Maya. He can bring the heat, and that was a really nice low to high. Good piece there in the goal by Wicken.
Yeah, his first save of the season. And again, errant pass goes all the way out to midfield, scooped up by Mount Sinai. Here they come. That was Marsala. This is Spelina. Off the bar. Rebound. Looks like it was getting a piece with Lamondola. Marsala with the shot.
What's most impressive right now about Mount Sinai, just their ability to run the field. I mean, they're coming down the field. They're going to run the field. Something. Wow. I know it's night. Everyone looks faster at night. But they're running the field now.
Spelina on Zimas. Zimas, and there's our first flag of the game. So this offense that moves so quickly, as you mentioned, will get their first man-up opportunity.
What's great there about what Spelina does there is he gets to the 5x5 up on the high island on his, really he's technically in his left, sticking his left hand. He's a right-handed player, but has tremendous ability with his right hand. He's such a threat to shoot that shovel, that behind the back. All those are so many shots. So you got to defend him there, and you get caught with a hold.
So Zimas in for 30 seconds. First man-up opportunity for either team. It's Christian Colantonio, the junior, lefty, big kid. Really shoots it well. He's got the ball right now to start this first man up. Spelina up top. Back to Colantonio. Spelina back in his office. Quick movement. Here comes Coretta. And there's that shot, right? We mentioned the way that he could shoot the ball. Another save.
Great job by Lamondola, just standing tall, seeing it coming out of his stick. You know, a little bit of a wind-up there, right? This is where Miller's dangerous right here.
And there he is, spinning out at midfield, handing off to Meyer.
You can see, though, on the previous play, Dylan, you know, just standing tall in the goal and seeing that shot all the way. I think there was a lot of wind-up on that shot there. Made it pretty easy.
And now we're even. So Northport does the job on their first man down.
Good job by Northport killing that man down. Great save by Lamondola, and they get to play offense here. They've been maybe a little jittery by the Northport guys early on. Kind of got to settle in a little bit, clean up the stick work.
2-0, the lead for Mount Sinai. Final 2 minutes of the opening quarter of the 2022 season. They work at far side. That's McNaughton. Here's Meyer. Tries to work off a screen. They double him. Good job handing off. Cutting inside. Firing. Shot by Kirchner. Ground ball scooped up by Mount Sinai. They've done an incredible job collectively, Mike, on winning those GBs. LaForge tries to get it quickly to Coretta. This ground ball picked up by Kirchner the other way.
Yeah, they ran a little two-man game there off the wing, and they almost had a lot of action, yeah.
And I think that's a good time for a timeout with things getting a little bit hectic there as Mount Sinai calls the first timeout.
And Northport Dylan kind of ran a nice little two-man set there with a throwback and a shot, and they just were unlucky they didn't finish it. But that was the best looking action they had in the quarter so far. And the call timeout, Mount Sinai, you can see Miller's he's kind of lurking, right?
He is a hunter, and he hunts, and when he gets the GB, he goes.
I've been on the field with him, and you know, he looks one way when you're watching it from home. When you get near him, he's got very long arms with that stick, and he's got a lot of reach.
This is the first of back-to-back games to start the year for us, and we've got, I guess you could kind of call it like a blue blood game, right, of Long Island. Ward Melville, Garden City out at GC. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. Another game presented by Bethpage Federal Savings. Myself and Rob Pinnell on the call for that one, and two teams who have won their share of state championships. That is for sure. West Genesee is at the very top of the list, right, with 15. Ward Melville's got 11. Garden City just behind them with 7, tied with Yorktown.
Tremendous matchup. What's great is, in Suffolk County, they have a high number of league games, only 2 non-league games. And the guys are willing to go play other people, and that's really awesome. And Garden City with a few more non-league games to fill in for for Coach Fennell to fill in. But opening up the gate, coming right out of the gate with Ward Melville is he never shies away from competition. Steve Fennell, and he likes to challenge his team, and I think that's why they're always one of the last men standing at the end of the year.
And we love this as well in this game. Harold Drum, a Ward Melville guy, right? 1994.
Great player, Ward Melville.
Wore that prestigious 44 for a couple years, right, before went on to play at UMass. He said, look, called up Northport and said, hey, you guys have, you want to play? You want to do this one early? And both teams, you're a coach. You want to get your guys an early test, kind of see where you are and maybe where your deficiencies are, where your strengths are. And they both said, yeah, let's do it, which is, again, one of the things you love about the sport of lacrosse.
Sure, absolutely. You can see once again we come out of a timeout. They got Zemas on the ball. He's a tough character, boy. He swings it and he's chasing him around. That's good stuff.
LaForge at X. Oh, what a move. And Spelina just couldn't get that shot off the way that he wanted.
You can see there that that Spelina is adept with the ball, without the ball, right? They run him off a little picket fence there action, run him off a screen there, and he gets open, just fires it over the goal. He doesn't miss those too often. I
don't know if he knows Zemas well, but he will after these 4 quarters, because Zemas is trying to get as tight on him as possible. Final 39 seconds of this first quarter.
Yeah, I think what Zemas is doing, what Coach Sarasi and they decided to do, is kind of shorten the gap there, shorten the distance, right? And probably if you're gonna get beat by him and get run by, don't give him too much of a running start. Shorten the distance and get physical with him. Not have his hands free.
Spelina, now he goes. Dumps it. And there was a violation on Mount Sinai.
Might have a crease violation.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Hard to tell.
Final 14 seconds. So let's see if Northport can get on the scoreboard. But first they've got to deal with this ride, which has been as advertised. Giveaway. Can they get one off? Spelina. Oh, what a save. Maybe the best thus far by Lamondola. He has been busy. 5 saves in the first quarter. The best of them.
That was a great one. They've been pretty consistently going low other than that one man-up shot, and he's been up to the task, Lamondola.
First quarter of the 2022 lacrosse season in the books. And after one, Mount Sinai with a 2-0 lead over Northport. You're watching this Suffolk County Lacrosse Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Bethpage Federal Savings. Welcome back to Mount Sinai. Dylan Butler here with Mike Hungerford. It is the first game of the lacrosse season, and 2 national and Long Island powerhouses locking horns here. It's Mount Sinai with a 2-0 lead in a game presented by Bethpage Federal Credit Union. First quarter in the books. What'd you think?
I thought that it's 2-0 Mount Sinai. It could maybe be 4 or 5-0 if Luke Lamondola doesn't make a couple of those saves. And I think, Northport guys got to settle in a little bit. They had a couple of good looks to go, a little bit unlucky. But, at 2-0, Coach Sarasi's probably in there, probably pretty happy.
That is, as you can see here, you could bring your game to life on Varsity Media Sportscast. We have announcers, multiple cameras, instant replays, graphics. Great for rivalry games, senior day, general promotion of your team, whatever it is. You can contact us to book a sportscast, 516-403-2050, or visit varsitymedia.net. So Lamondola, you would say after the first 12 minutes, the early favorite, that last save maybe for the breakout goaltending save of the game. We'll award that when the game is over. But that's a pretty good one, right? We'll put that down. That's a candidate for sure.
That's Joey Spelina with his hands free from about 10 yards in the middle of the goal and doesn't go in. That's a great save.
Yeah.
Definitely a chance to be that breakout goaltending save of the game. We'll see. Maybe probably see a few more. Dylan, I think if Northport can clean up a little bit of their offensive end with some of their stick work and get the clearing game sorted out, and they just were a little unlucky, and it's got to finish a couple balls, and they're right in it.
There's been an issue as well at the face-off X, right, with Cooper Anchek jumping early for his first few. So it's been 3-0 in the face-off game for Mount Sinai. Cooper Anchek gets the clamp, but as it happened earlier, now they do get the GB. And Meyer shoots it high, but he was harassed on the way there.
Yeah, great ground ball pickup by Meyer as the ball trickled into the box, and Cooper Anchek came out of there with the clamp, and he couldn't get it clean, but good wing play tying him up.
That was Brett Spelina, who's going to be his best friend here today as well. Looks like that's that matchup.
But that's the edge that Cooper Anchek gives you. No matter how you get the ball in your stick, it's in your stick, and you have to play offense now. And that's kind of the edge that Northport had last year with him. He had a tremendous season a year ago.
A lot of multiple sport athletes. Certainly you could appreciate that. Guys who have played football and basketball and had very good seasons as well for Northport.
Yeah, Northport's got a very good high school sports program, both boys and girls. And the football team had a nice year, and the basketball team had a good year. And a lot of these guys, are 2 and 3 sport guys. Shot
by Meyer through some traffic, and again, under duress, was wide.
Meyer's a tough cover. He's a big, tall guy, and you have to put your hands on him and drive him where you want. They kind of try to go a little bit behind him there, kind of freed up his hands. You have to be a little careful with that.
Stark pushes it back out top. That's Hellrigel. Senior had 15 goals a year ago. Larry Cerasi jokes, every time I see him, he gets bigger. Like 6'6" now. And here comes McNaughton. Meyer. Blew a tire. You could see he was trying to get inside there. Still gets off a low shot. That one wide.
Yeah, one of the other keys to the game I thought was going to be seeing the Northport offense and Mount Sinai minus, Mikey Trepida playing defense, who was injured and going to miss the year. And, a great player and who plays with a high motor, and a great kid. I feel very bad for he's injured. And
Stark saved.
Nice save right there. Just got low on it.
And Wilkins, unofficial second. And then the Mustangs get on attack. Coretta. So many weapons for this Mount Sinai team. And again, you've got a guy in Spelina who knows that he'll get the attention, but is absolutely fine with sharing that wealth.
Players who know that Joey will find them when he has the ball on his stick, and they'll be moving without it. But there's some good offensive players, even with, take him out of it. There's other good offensive players who can do a lot of nice things.
Oh, Spelina goes down hard. Still down. The goal will count. He was trying to set a screen. Goal by Marsala, and he just got leveled.
That was a nice play right there. I mean, I'm not really sure about being able to come off the screen like that.
Oh, excuse me, it was Jake Spelina with the goal.
Yep, nice shot coming down the alley, running out of a little bit of angle, Jake, and he's able to put that up in the corner. And, if you look at here, they're going with the face-off X, and you have Oppenheim out there again. And Jake Spelina, the goal scorer, is also a secondary face-off guy. And they kind of have a two-headed monster there. If Oppenheim is struggling a little bit, maybe they go with Spelina. But the fact that Oppenheim's hanging in right now and doing a really good job with Cooper Anchek means that Jake Spelina can just play midfield.
Yeah, he could save that wear and tear. Off the face-off, it's won by the Coop. And he's off and running. Cooper Anchek. Shot goes wide.
Yep, coming down the teeth of the defense. Cooper Antrick, they were all kind of a little hesitant to slide, obviously, with that face-off stick. It's probably a little bent and a little mangled up, and they're going to let him shoot that ball, and he put that wide.
3-0 the score. Mount Sinai with the lead. 8:52 left in this first half. Here's McNaughton. Pumps the brakes, tries to cut inside. McNaughton was on the second midfield a year ago. Makes the move up this year. There's Hellriggle. And they work it to Stark. The Oberlin commit. And a moving pick is called on Meyer. So it feels like early on, Mike, anything that can go wrong offensively is for Northport.
Yeah, just haven't gotten a rhythm, you know. Sometimes when two really good teams play, Dylan, in the sport of lacrosse, the team that settles into their offense and gets a little good feeling and a little rhythm going is going to play better. I think right now the Mount Sinai guys are in that rhythm a little bit right now, and they're very comfortable, you know. And I think the Northport guys just haven't sensed that comfort level yet. I think if Cooper Rancher keeps winning faceoffs against possession, they can develop that a little bit. But just hasn't been smooth and a little unlucky too, you know, a little bit unlucky.
There's Spelina. Oh, what a look. And a goal at the crease. Another goal for Mount Sinai, and there is Cole Marsala.
I got to tell you, he threw that ball from, probably going to see the replay of it here coming up. Joey's running up the field off the pick. And you see how he's settling on that back pipe, right? Joey throws that ball about 15 yards on a rope with a defender on his hands.
Threw a few poles as well.
But that's when you play with a player of Joey Spelina's ability, you're going to go to those places because you know he's going to find you and throw the ball to you, you know. And if Syracuse, Joey's going to Syracuse, and probably Syracuse many years ago, you know, John Zilberti, a tremendous feeder who played with the era of the Gate brothers, was the same way. He would throw balls in from the end line, you know, to guys in the crease. And guys knew if Z was, you know, if you were open, Z was going to find you. And Joey's the same way.
Now he'll get to go and play for Gary Gate as well in his first year as Syracuse head coach. Miller! There's the response. First pole goal of the year as well.
Dylan, you love your pole goals, and that's why you have to treat Drew Miller like an offensive player because he's wearing 54 and he's got that orange and reddish shaft, the reddish orange shaft, but he's an offensive threat. A little backdoor cut, sidearm, great goal. He has he has a feel for the game offensively that you can't coach, even though he plays with a pole.
Miller a year ago, 10 goals, 1 assist. Meyer gets the assist, cutting the lead to 4-1. There's Spelina, handing off to Takis.
Great play by Takis right there. There was a little bit of traffic, and you see the Cooper Integral right. He might have won that clamp again, but Spelina did a great job, you know, defensively. And got the loose ball and was able to get it up on the ground and pick it up and hit the ball to Takis, and Takis got through some traffic right there.
When you and I spoke during the day a little bit, this was the matchup that I was at least excited about. The plethora of poles for Northport, right? And so many different guys. That's, again, the collective strength against one of the best attacking units on Long Island. Spelina ducks under. Cuts inside, he's hammered. And Northport will get that one. But this is the difference, I think, maybe in that matchup, is how hard Mount Sinai rides.
Sure, a little mishandling of the ball off the hard ride by Mount Sinai, and they get the ball back. Joey got to the middle of the field there. You know, it was started out as really good defense, and then he was able to get through to the middle of the field. And I think he thought he was going to draw a foul, and the referees are kind of letting him play a little bit, which is, you know, that's okay.
Only that one infraction so far to Zimas. Mount Sinai unable to capitalize on that. Behind the back, Spelina.
Great backdoor cut. He's putting the ball on a dime, putting it right on his stick, and he's able to throw that one in. And there just aren't enough superlatives, you know? There really aren't.
And you could see when he got the ball from X, Mike, he had that in his mind the entire time.
He had Drew Miller on him right there, who's usually used to playing up top, you know, and he had him behind the goal and he was able to come around and shovel that ball in. And just, you know, Coretta finds him, you know, the Georgetown commit, Coretta, and gotta love Coretta. He's like an up and down the field guy, two-way midi, can do all kinds of things, and you know, he's a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, workhorse going to Georgetown. Year ago, 10 goals, 6 assists.
He's a perfect Georgetown guy.
Yeah.
What they're doing down there and how they're playing and the style of play. Love it.
This time it was Spelina going early. And that's what's got to be killing you right now if you're Northport, right? It's one thing when they're riding and you're turning it over, but when you get an uncontested face-off and throw it away, you got to shake your head. Yes, it is still March, right? And that's maybe part of what the Northport coaching staff is thinking right now, but...
Sure, but those are the things the coach keep you laying in bed at night. You know, they don't keep you staring at the ceiling till 3 o'clock in the morning. It's one of those things because you know all these things have been practiced, and sometimes it just doesn't always work. Sports are interesting that way. Might happen in the sub game right here.
Extra pass, goal, LaForge, and it is 6-1. Mount Sinai.
Yep, Dylan, I did speak correctly. They caught him in the sub game there. You had the Northport player going to the box, and they were coming from the midfield line, and those two things sometimes don't match up and marry up correctly. But LaForge is the recipient of some really unselfish play from Spelina, and
so back-to-back assists from Coretta. LaForge, he opened the scoring in the first quarter, gets his second of the game. And it is all Mount Sinai here in this first half.
Great hockey assist from Jake Spelina too, just moving along to Coretta, and he doesn't get a point in the scorebook, but very important.
Wing play is so critical, and there it gets the ball to Mount Sinai. Great work by the pole there. Dylan Sagiter, yeah, going to Syracuse.
Oh yeah. He's a ball of energy. Sagita runs around, great skills. You can see there. Now they're in the 10-man here, doing the 10-man ride, Dylan. So what's happening right now is the goalie is out covering a player. He's covering the deep attackman, and they're bumping up a pole, and they're matching up 10 on 10 using the goalie as defender, and the net is open.
And a understandable timeout there by Northport, right?
This is the time of the year where 10-man, we've all probably over the first few days practiced against 10-man, but then when it comes in a game, it's all happening really fast. You got to get it organized.
Northport, you can see their huddle right there. Their head coach, Larry Cerisi, said, look, we've always been friendly with Mount Sinai, especially, he said, with Mount Sinai assistant coach Luke DeQuino. So the opportunity presented itself, and, both of us see non-league as a way to prepare ourselves for tough league schedules that we both have. So he said, my boys are jacked up. We're excited. It's kind of like Friday Night Lights, right?
Absolutely.
Out here at Mount Sinai. So he said his guys are really excited for the trip out here to Mount Sinai.
Well, the reality of it is we're going to, in about an hour and change from now, someone's going to be declared the winner and someone's going to be declared the loser, but everyone's going to play 15 more games, and it doesn't make or break anyone's season, but it's a good way to walk away from the game and put the film on and say, this is what we did right or wrong. And there's always fixing to be done, right? Dylan, I tell my guys all the time, we'll be fixing stuff to the last day of the year. It's how it works in the sports, so you'll be able to, Coach Sarasi or Coach Drum will be able to go back and look at the film. Even when you win, there'll be things to fix. So it's great teaching, and the only way you get better is, I believe, is playing against good competition.
And Mount Sinai, they come in, and obviously a great early statement by the Mustangs, right? 6-1. But they're hungry as well, Mike, because, look, yeah, they won on the last day of the season, as you see the 10-man ride again.
So what they got, so in the 10-man again, what they're able to get is...
Look out. They get Spelina one-on-one off the bar. And a crease violation.
Maybe that is the breakout goaltending save of the game. Joey Spelina in a one-on-one. He'd love to have that one back, but a great play by Lamondola.
And again, the relentless ride, Marsala.
So in the last possession, Dylan, they came out of a timeout of Mount Sinai, and they were still in the 10-man, and they got the ball to the pole in the middle of the field, and that's what you want out of a 10-man.
Oh, fantastic save up high. Might have another candidate for the breakout goaltending save of the game.
Might have more than one.
We go the other way. Marsala, wide. Oh, that one was nice. High save as well by Wilkin. Got up and got it.
Yeah, it came down in a little odd man situation, and maybe they could have worked for something a little bit better, but I mean, the pace of the game is some pace right now.
Miller loses it at midfield. And again, goes to Takis.
Great flag by Takis, flag down.
It's a delayed penalty. LaForge back to Takis. He is the real deal. Does a little bit of everything. Up and down, plays man up, plays man down. Brother Derek is a freshman at Stony Brook. He'll join him in a year's time.
I see a bunch of Stony Brook players here at the game, I think, supporting their, younger brother right here tonight. I see him in the stands.
That's about a, 5-minute drive, I think, right? Not too far.
Not too far. Good for them. Probably had a nice warm practice today and got to come over here and watch. That's awesome. Good for them. Cold night.
Yeah, still a delayed penalty as Jake Spelina has it. Maybe play a little two-man game with his brother here. Little pick and pop. Goes down side. Oh, another great save. Lamondola absolutely robbed Colantonio at the crease.
Tell you, that was a great little two-man game up top with the two Spelinas, and Colantonio looks like he kind of just rolled off and found open space, and he had so much more time than I think he had. Yep, he just kind of walked and kind of try to cross-hand it.
A little fake there, right?
Had a stick in his left hand. Yep, we'd love to have that one back. But tell you what, Lamondola, as a first-year starter, has been terrific. A terrific first half. I mean, it's 6-1 right now, but not his fault.
Well, listen, we saw him, right? And maybe his coming out party was out at your place at Farmingdale for the Long Island Lacrosse Showcase in that Rising Seniors game. We were certainly impressed enough with him and ended up, again, being co-MVP of that game. And, again, not being the guy, right? That was Andrew Tippmann a year ago. He was in the cage.
He was terrific, Andrew Tippmann. He had a great season. But Lamondola, he plays good angles. He's got nice size, takes up space. Definitely good in tight.
Joey Spelina fires it up top. Picked up by Coretta. Final 2 minutes of the first half. A first half dominated by the Mustangs, low to high. That attempt went wide.
Still man up here. Still with the extra man. Joey's going up top now.
Jake Spelina pushed back a little more. Here he comes in the restart. Up top to Joey. Again, slings it behind the back shot. I think Lamondola might have got a piece. I kind of like seeing Joey here, right? Kind of inverted up top and just picking guys out. Loose ball, some contact. LaForge. From distance. It is 7-1 Mount Sinai. That goal to Colantonio. Yeah, he can rip it.
A couple things stand out there for me, Dylan. First of all, great ground ball work. I think that was LaForge picking up the ground ball, right? Great ground ball work in the offensive box. And Colantonio before had a man-up shot previous to this in the first quarter, and he went high to high And there he wants kind of like a little 3/4 and dropped it down and bounced it in. So a little change of pace from him, right? Rather than the high to high before, he changed it up. Good shooters will do those things, you know.
Second midfield guy, but again, right, gets his opportunities a man up, and you could see why, where Harold Drum just loves the way that he shoots the ball. 8 goals as a junior, 4 assists as well. 7-1 the lead for Mount Sinai.
See if Cooper Rancher can get him back in this game with the faceoff. Okay, the clamp is kind of wild there.
And the GB picked up by Mount Sinai. It was Seguider again, timeout for the Mustangs.
Good timeout call right there by Coach Drum. You know, short time left in the half. He has 1 timeout left. Use it and see what you can get here.
1:06 left in this first half. Got another great one coming up on Friday in Nassau County. The defending Class A champs, right, at Syosset, taking on Southside. That should be a lot of fun as well. Don't miss that one here on our YouTube channel, the Varsity Media Sports Network.
That'll be a good game. You got Syosset and Southside, 2 head coaches who are college teammates and very good friends, and play a non-league game every year, and you have a good face-off battle there. Southside's got Melconian. I think he's a sophomore now. Good in his class. Very good face-off guy. And, of course, Syosset brings back Luca Accardo, who's All-American last year, going to High Point, one of the top face-off men around. It should be a pretty good battle.
You can bring your game to life on a Varsity Media Sportscast. You've got announcers, multiple cameras, instant replays, graphics. Great for rivalry games, senior day, just general promotion of your team. You can contact us to book a sportscast at 516-403-2050 or visit varsitymedia.net.
You know, Dylan, we had the timeout there before when you had Seguider, I think, picked the ball up, and you had Miller on him, and there was a pretty astute timeout, very astute timeout there by Mount Sinai, but a little variation between high school and college rules, right? You saw this year we've gone to the face-off men in high school standing up like in college, but in college 3 violations and there's a penalty.
Yeah.
And also, you know, you can only call timeout when the ball's in the offensive box. In college lacrosse, still in high school, you can call it anywhere. And so little variations in the rules. And of course, in college, there's a shot clock, which we talked about before the game. We've yet to be considered in high school lacrosse. Though there are several proponents, some of those in this press box right now.
Look, it's in the college game, right? Like, I don't tell me it's a financial concern, right? Like, you can get a shot clock.
No, I do know some coaches down in Maryland in the private school ranks that they do play shot clock. They play college rules in Maryland, and I do think it helps their players get a little more prepared, you know, for the college game.
1 minute.
Spelina and Zimas really throwing some lumber out there.
Great check by Zimas getting that ball out of bounds, and they ran a little play there. They ran Joey off that little action there coming out of a timeout.
Zimas has impressed for a Northport team as more physicality out at midfield. Northport missing maybe their best on-ball defender. Tigers call timeout. That's Dan Eagers, right? He's close, a little bit banged up in the preseason. He's going to Delaware. Usually he's the guy who covers the other team's one, right? So an opportunity for Zimas in his first game. Again, right, coming from St. Anthony's, obviously a town guy, comes back in to play for Northport. And Sorese says, look, he's got a little nastiness to him, which he likes. Look, Sorese, again, right, middle country, has a little of that blue-collar work ethic and attention to his game. And he says Zimas brings that as well.
Yeah, you know, defensively, you know, Northport's got a bevy of very good poles, you know, in Sandrib and Alfiero and Valenti. And Eagers, I just found out the other day we weren't going to see him, you know, maybe here tonight. And too bad. Delaware commit. I just saw him play last summer. I thought he was an excellent player.
We got a lot of Division I commits. Let's show you the list here. This is for Northport. You can see Maya right at the very top, right? Bucknell, Cooper Ranchek going to Penn State. Webb to Springfield, and all those polls there you mentioned before, right? Drew Miller as well, obviously. Army, Alfiero, High Point. High Point just played a great game against North Carolina. It was tight for most of that game, North Carolina kind of pulled away there late in the fourth quarter.
Yes, that was a very good game. Excuse me. High Point was in the game the whole time. High Point's program's come a long way, and they really have done a great job coaching and recruiting, and definitely a key destination for players these days.
All right, so off the timeout, let's see what Northport does here. Final 44 seconds of a first half that has been dominant for the host Mustangs.
Well, we'll see here. In 44 seconds, they're going to kind of work down for one here, or they're going to play right away, knowing you have Cooper Anchik, who might be able to win the faceoff again and get you another one before the half. We'll see.
There's Stark. We go the other way. Kirchner up top to McNaughton. He'll play catch. 22 seconds.
20.
McNaughton to Hellriggle. And it's back to Stark. You got to wonder when Meyer gets a touch. He does now. Meyer off a Kirchner screen. He's got to run a long way here to try to get a shot off. Meyer pumps the brakes, goes behind the back, gets eaten up in front, and that does it for the first half.
Yep, Meyer was able to get a shot off. A little tough angle, but they got it off.
Well, Joey Spelina did Joey Spelina things. The ride was impressive, as was the defense, too, for Mount Sinai. A lot of forced and unforced errors. The result is a 7-1 lead for Mount Sinai. We'll take a quick break, get you some halftime stats and highlights as well as that being one of the better saves. That's the guy, certainly, who has stood out, Lamondola, in his first varsity start, doing really well for the Tigers. 7-1 your score. You're watching this Suffolk County Showdown presented by Bethpage Federal Credit Union on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Woodland's goal! Ryan Woodland!
Behind the back shot for Connolly, and that one is true to form.
Here comes a cut by Taylor, and that time she doesn't miss. Look at that cut to the cage, and a sidearm shot and goal by Emma DeMarco.
Looking up top again, Lachinsky seeing it all the way to the save, rebounded out ahead for Almachi.
Spinning and firing, and what a response there.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media. Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover parents and athletes. Why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Woodland's go! Ryan Woodland!
Behind the back shot for Connolly, and that one is true to form.
Here comes a cut by Taylor, and that time she doesn't miss. Look at a cut to the cage, and a sidearm shot and goal by Emma DeMarco.
Looking up top again, Lachinsky seeing it all the way to the save, rebounded out ahead for Almachi.
Spinning and firing, and what a response there.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media. Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event. Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
Welcome back to Mount Sinai. It is all good for the Mustangs, who are up 7-1 after the first half. A dominant first half collectively, but really they got going in that second quarter. It was 2-0 for Mount Sinai after one quarter, and then it obviously expanded 7-1. This guy right here on your screen was a big part of that. Joey Spelina with 2 goals and 2 assists in that first half. And we look at the collective team stats and look at those numbers. Just the shots, incredible for Mount Sinai, 24-10.
Yeah, we have shots up there. 24-10 is a tremendous advantage. Saves. I think that pretty even, but Lamondola stood out as making a few really great saves, and the clearing and riding has certainly favored Mount Sinai. They've been in that 10-man ride. They've caused a lot of havoc and made it difficult on Northport clearing the ball.
Yeah, we didn't have in those stats like a turnover stat, but certainly Northport. A lot of first half turnovers for sure, forced and unforced.
I think the key for them here in this half is to try to, and it's a cold night and it's not an easy night to play, but you got to clean up the unforced. I think Coach is talking about probably cleaning up the unforced turnovers, the perimeter stick work mistakes.
Yeah, forced is going to happen, right? But when you win it like you do here for Cooper Ranchek, you can't throw the ball away. This time, though, it stays with Northport.
Good face-off win by Cooper Ranchek.
Yeah, it's one of their talented polls there. Nick Valenti going to Siena, the junior. Gets to start with Eagers out. And now the Tigers can start the second half, unlike in the first, right, where it took them a while to get a real possession. And this time they got the opening one of the third quarter.
See if they can, get a good possession here and get a good look at the goal and get a little more lucky. I thought they were unlucky a little bit in the first half too. Just ball didn't fall. A couple good saves by Wilkin, but a little unlucky as well.
Here's Meyer, and it is quickly handed off. It's Kirchner backing up. He's got the short pole, tries to work on that.
Looks like they're in zone now, a little switch there. Yep, they switched it back, not zone, but just a little switch there.
Now Meyer's got the shorty. And Coretta.
It's like they might be in some kind of a zone there. A little matchup.
Kirchner, they go back up top. Here's Meyer. This time is harassed by Spelina. The double comes, as does the physicality. There's a great save. High shot. Came in by Murphy, but seeing it the entire way was Wilkin.
Little mid-range high did a good job of matching stick on the ball and making a good save and having no rebound with a nice clean save. That was nice work right there by Wilkin. I kind of thought that was a little bit of the Coach Drum play for Ward Melville of the Ward Melville backer zone in there with Coretta. Looks like he might have been the backer.
Wilkin's third save of the day. Spelina, a little giddy up in his step. Double comes, spins away from it. He'll find another way to hurt you now. Tries to get inside. Oh! Don't count it. A crease violation.
I guess he ended up in the crease there. He kind of got underneath. I think maybe he was looking for possibly a push call even too. He got neither. That would probably be a pretty good goal in college. I'll tell you right now, he's ready to go do that.
Yeah, you can see that in the Dome, right, next year. And again, the ride. Here we go again. Spelina not getting beat this time. His third of the game, and the Mustangs extend their lead to 8-1.
The ride is tough. Clearing the ball in the middle of the field is the difficulty in the ride of a 10-man. They're collapsing on both sides, so the attackmen are coming back on it, and the pole is pushing up and is creating all kinds of havoc. And, of course, Joey, I think, was 0-2 on breakaways in the first half, maybe, right? He was not going to be 0-3. I know that for a fact.
3-2 now for Spelina, who led Long Island as a junior with 45 goals and 77 assists. Count that up to 122 points.
Northport comes out at half. They win the faceoff. They have a good possession. They get a nice look at the goal, and Wilkins up to the challenge. And then they get the ball back on the turnover and the crease violation. Nice faceoff win by Kuparanchik.
And look at Miller. Split a double, kept the ball. That's one of the reasons why he's one of the best long stick middies in the country.
And only a junior.
Yeah.
Not only the year of him. Unique size, unique skills, unique IQ. Dylan, if you would have told me we're at 8:30 to play and running in the third quarter, and Northport's got one goal and it's by Miller, I would tell you probably I would not have thought that would be the case here. No disrespect to Mount Sinai defense, or I just didn't see it that way. But they play really good defense and a little unlucky, but also I think some good saves, mix of everything here.
They've done a great job keeping this guy quiet for sure, right? Meyer.
Brett Spelina's done a good job on him, just taking space away and
first flag against Mount Sinai. So we'll get it after.
It's like you're probably going to get a slash there.
It'll be a 30-second push. So Northport, first opportunity in the man up. Mount Sinai had two opportunities, right? I think first half, 3 opportunities. Wasn't able to cash in.
Big chance right here for Northport.
Yeah.
You have Kuparanchik. He as the game's wore on, it seems like he's won more of the draws a little bit, right? He's got a little rhythm going with the draw. There is a rhythm factor to it, and you got a little rhythm going there. If you can get a goal here and maybe here's Mount Sinai locking Meyer with the short stick, kind of ghosting him, and now coming back out of it.
There is Meyer up top.
Then they're ghosting him again and locking him again. So it's on and off. Now it's 5-on-4.
And the look to the crease was off the mark, and it'll be Mount Sinai ball.
Tough ball to throw. You're really far from the goal. It's about a 25-yard pass. You certainly had the extra man 5-on-4, but I think the Mount Sinai, the coaching staff is not going to let Meyer crank up that cannon too much.
So Mount Sinai should be pretty close here, right? Unless it's even now. Little push by Meyer. Good job. And now Northport, well, they tried to take a little bit of an advantage there with the not really getting a restart. Murphy hands off. And there's Meyer. Low to low, blocked. Spelina got a piece. Some physicality. Good job by Wilkin to see it into a stick.
Meyer trying to get that off. A little time and room, and defenseman got a piece of that one.
Wilkin lobs it ahead. Gets it to Spelina.
Got to get in the box. 10 seconds.
And they will not.
Nope. Going to be close there.
It's a couple things going Northport's way, right? Right now, Meyer did a good job a moment ago. But again, how do you survive this ride? And it's almost unfair in game 1 of the year to ride as hard as the Mustangs do. Stolen. And now Northport's got to get over. And the Tigers will call a timeout.
You know, the option there, Dylan, you know, in the 10-man is to shoot the ball. I think you saw last weekend in the Maryland-Virginia game. Virginia team 10-mans a lot. And the Maryland defenseman, I think Ray Hill, scored like a 60 to 65-yarder, cannon the ball in the goal. I think one thing you got to do is you got to be willing to shoot the ball a little bit at the empty goal and back it up, you know, because you'll still retain possession. You can't live that way any other way.
You and I, we both love watching the games on ESPN Plus, right? ACC Network, watching a lot of college lacrosse. These guys will be featured in a year or a little bit more time, right? Look at this list here for Mount Sinai. Again, this is a small school, right? In Suffolk County, you could see just the almost embarrassment of riches here. You've got all the Spelinas going to Syracuse. Trepida, that's the guy that we're missing right now, right? That's a big miss for Mount Sinai, but he is going to Johns Hopkins, Oppenheimer to Albany as well. We mentioned Coretta before, to Georgetown, Marsala to Quinnipiac, Jaffaris with where a bunch of your guys go, right, up to Binghamton as well.
Yeah, great place. Looks like they're starting to turn the corner with a big win against Albany last weekend. They appear to be turning the corner with their program and getting some kids, more kids to go and putting some more commitment to it. It's really good. And you also got to remember the guy you don't have on the list who's not committed yet because he's at 24, but will be a high Division I commit, I think, is Luke LaForge. You know, number 40 in 2024. Very good attackman, so he'll be added to that list. But for a Class C school, a small high school, that's a lot of Division I. That's a lot of Division I players.
And we've got a lot of games coming up here on the Varsity Media Sports Network as well. There's a whole bunch of games, right?
I don't know. I can't even know where to start.
I think you take a screen grab a little bit of that, and if you're a fan, and a lot of places. We're going to be all over Long Island in the Public School League and the Catholic League as well. Some terrific showdowns coming up on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Off the timeout, Northport looking to chip away. You can't get a seven spot right now, right? But you could chip away. You can get one at a time. It's Meyer. Well, now he gets a little separation with the net, kind of being a screen. But again, story of the game for the Tigers, an errant pass over and back. And again, part of the story is how quickly the Mustangs want to move.
Mustangs do a good job of getting ahead of the ball and occupying defenders and throwing it forward, and you better get in the hole against them. It's going to happen fast. I'm impressed, Dylan. You know, they don't play that many guys. You know, they have a smaller roster than Northport considerably. I was impressed how many guys Northport has in their roster, and obviously a big high school, but they're getting a lot of mileage out of a relatively small number of guys, Mount Sinai.
It is quality, not necessarily quantity, right? Here is Spelina. Gets loose, and good job kind of following up right there by Northport, right, affecting that shot.
I think, you know, Joey's been going low a few times. That time he went a little sidearm high to high. You know, he mixing it up. He scores so many goals. It's a good job mixing up his release points and where he's shooting the ball.
Here he is now, GLE. Head up, looking for options. Drops the shoulder. Miller comes as a double. The attempted pass was off the mark. Loose ball out at midfield. It's picked up by Meyer. Meyer's got some room. Meyer goes far post. It's wide. The backup is there for Northport.
If you're a Northport Tigers fan or a coach or a player, you kind of hope Meyer could can that one right there, right? Try to change momentum a little bit.
4:13 left in the third quarter. 8-1 is the score for Mount Sinai.
Meyer kind of shoot that runner going downhill away from the goal. We could have gotten back underneath a little bit and got to the face of the goal a little bit more, but his momentum was carrying him so hard that way.
Meyer. Again, tries to feed it. Lost it. Maybe a little push. Not called. Stays with Northport. Ducking out of trouble there was Hellriggle. Gets it to Stark at X. Good feed in front, and again.
Good tie-up.
Oh, Seguider, he has been a beast.
Looks like the ball's going back to, no.
Yeah, it's going to Mount Sinai's way.
The referees have been pretty consistent staying out of the game. fans have been pretty vocal about their thoughts on some of the officiating as par for the course in most games you go to these days. But they've been pretty consistent letting them play. Physical game, two teams very athletic.
I think the colder it is, the more the fans want to yell, right? Here's Coretta. He's already got a pair of assists on the game.
I don't think the referees get out of their car and think they want to influence the outcome. They just want to be get the job done and do their job and go home and see a good lacrosse game too.
I think especially in a game like this, right? You let the athletes do their thing, and here's one of the best in the country, Spelina, hands off. That shot by Marsala was pushed away. Oh, look at the effort. Which way we going? It's going to be Northport ball. Terrific effort running that shot out. And I guess the referee right there on top of it, he's way closer than me, so he thought it was Northport ball. That was Tommy Butler, and look at this again. Spelina from Marsala. Again, the ride pays dividends.
I think the point, if you're Northport, when you look at the film, is just a ball in the middle of the field,
And you can see initially it went off of Spelina's stick, right?
When you're a 10-man ride team, it's something when you're going to commit to it, Dylan, it's something you're going to do, and you do it all the time. You do it maybe when you play in the summer, you do it when you play in the winter, you do it all the time. It's just an instinct where you're not going to, some kids want to look behind them and go, there's an open guy back there. I can't leave him. But it's just such a philosophy, and now they're terrific at it.
Well, you know it well, right, from your time working with Dennis Bond, and that was so much of Cold Spring Harbor's identity, right? It was that 10-man ride with Ian Laviano up top, and he continued doing that, obviously, at UVA as well.
See, Ian Laviano, I was lucky enough to be around some great riders. Coach Matt Danowski was not only one of the greatest players of Long Island history, but a tremendous rider. Ian Laviano was an unbelievable riding attackman, even in 8th grade. He rode like a madman, and Joey fits that profile exactly. One of those guys he'll ride to the 49.5-yard line and slam the brakes on, right, and chase, and because you know what they know, they're going to get easy points, they're going to get easy goals eventually, and you see it here today.
Marsala with Kirchner on him, goes low and bounces it in. Cole Marsala, his second of the game. He extends the Mount Sinai lead.
Marsala's fun to watch. He's like a complimentary guy for the other guys they have, but he's got a little jitterbug to him, right? Gets a step, little hesitation, little change of pace, accelerates. Really tough shot for the goalie to see. He's running away from the goal. Can't really find the ball too easy.
On this team, on this Mount Sinai team, Marsala has probably his lacrosse skill set is through the roof. Probably only second to Joey Spelina, says their head coach Harold Drum.
That was a great lefty goal running up the field short side. Only a very skilled player scores those goals. That's not everyday stuff.
Movement again by Cooper Ranchik. It's been a tough day at the X for him. As you mentioned, right, a little bit of a Oppenheim and Spelina, little two-man game a little bit at the face-off X. And look, when you got a 10-1 lead, you can kind of do that, right, in a game like this. Here's Joey Spelina.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of, I think definitely, I don't think the Northport kids thought the score would be what it is right now either. I think a little.
And there's that matchup we wanted, right? Miller on Spelina. Spelina gets it off, but way high. Miller doing a great job getting tight on Spelina.
I think you see how, when Northport's kind of trying not to help too much and kind of leave them in that one-on-one matchup as long as he can. They have some excellent defensemen. There's not really any immediate, there comes a double.
Shoots it low, and Lamondola, where is it?
His equipment.
Another save for him.
1 minute.
Final minute of this third quarter. 10-1 the lead for Mount Sinai. There goes the ride again. Spelina. He's got options. LaForge was looking for it ahead.
There's that middle of the field situation, right? You can see the attackman coming back and squeezing that midfielder in the middle of the field, and the pole coming up the field and making it tough and getting on his hands. it's something that's very difficult to simulate in practice exactly how they're doing it right with that intensity. Very impressive.
So Spelina, from his vantage point there, has got a great look at the scoreboard across the other end zone, so he knows how much time is left. Works on Zimas. Hands it off. That shot, another save by Lamondola.
Great save by Lamondola off the shot from Marsala.
Can Northport get one off? To the crease. Stark gets it. Beats the buzzer.
They needed that, Northport, in the worst way. Just to, get on the ball with their offensive players and kind of, take a deep breath. Good finish on the fast break. Coming down, of course, it's Miller again. A little stick fake. Draws the defender. I think the close guys got caught in a little bit of no man's land, whether they were going to go or not go. But Miller creates that with that stick fake. And he's a hockey assist guy again on that goal, right? So he's got a goal, and he's a hockey assist guy on the second goal.
3 quarters in the books. It is Mount Sinai with a 10-2 lead over Northport. You're watching this battle of defending Long Island champions, presented by Bethpage Federal Credit Union and the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Mount Sinai. Dylan Butler here, the head coach of Farmingdale High School, Mike Hungerford, and got a lot of great games on our schedule. Look, you want to be one of those teams? Well, you could bring your game to life with a Varsity Media Sportscast. We've got announcers, multiple cameras, instant replay graphics. You got a rivalry game, want to showcase it, senior day maybe, just even general promotion for your team. We're here for all of that. Contact us to book a sportscast, 516-403-2050, or visit varsitymedia.net.
The shameless plug. I first met Ben when we did a hype video, right, Ben, in the 2020 season. At the end of the day, the seniors I had in that team, as many on Long Island, that's all they had. They got a hype video. They didn't get to play any games, and I'm lucky I did it. The rest, as they say, is history.
And now you're here with us. You're one of us. How about that? Start of the fourth quarter. Little shoulder barge by Cooper Ranchek. And it'll be Mount Sinai ball to start.
Yeah, they came out there with Spelina taking that one, with Jake Spelina taking that face off, and Cooper Ranchek is so good, and just a little change of pace, different guys, right? See a little different activity from a different face off man. Very he cannot be stopped. Joey Spelina, his 5th of the game. You see the highlight here, He starts driving, a lot of hesitation, a lot of change of pace, two-handed. But what you have right there is, you have a stick behind him, right? And small details make a big difference when you're playing against Joey Spelina. He has the stick behind him and never really gets it completely over. And now Joey's got his hands free as he's driving up the field. It's tough, And if you're a kid on defense, you bring your stick over, you think he's going to roll you. But then you got to count on help from the rest of your teammates there. It's very tough.
Harold Drum, and again, as you mentioned, right, the Mount Sinai coach in his day at Ward Melville, an excellent defender, right? So he works for the defense here. As off the face-off, how about that goal? Another pole goal for Northport.
That's a great shot.
And this time it's Nicky Valenti.
Yep, the junior, the Siena commit. Nice job off the face-off. And then, there's a 3-man game of the face-off right there, right? Getting the win, stepping under. Tell you what, Northport's got some defensemen who, if you don't play, you get better get in the hole and play them like offensive guys. He's the second one. You have Miller. Now they're going 2 poles on the faceoff. I believe they went 2 poles before. Both Miller and Valenti. Sorry, I didn't notice that before. Tried to muck it up here, I guess, a little bit on the faceoff.
Well, all these guys, when you speak with Larry Soresi, he kind of repeats himself when he mentions his guys, right? His poles. They're all athletic, and they all do have that green light.
Absolutely.
And again, good work by the poles. First, again, it was 27 Valenti, and then following up was Zimas to get the ball for the Tigers.
Well, Mount Sinai popped that one out and had the ball in their stick. I think that was they went back with Oppenheim, but I actually agree with the fans. I think he was fouled that time a little bit, but the referees are very consistent. They're letting the teams play.
They got nothing better to do out here, so.
See if Northport can get a little run going here.
Here's Kirchner up top. But Drum was saying, look, I deal with it every day in practice, right, with Spelina, and his question is always, how do you stop him? Like, how do you deal with him? And he said it's so frustrating for his poles, who obviously get better, right, dealing with a guy like Spelina every day at practice. But he says, he could just beat you in so many different ways.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got every gift and every ability, and he's worked so hard at honing them all to a T, and there's nothing he really can't do.
Kirchner behind the back. Maybe his best attribute is that he's got the ability to score without even beating you, which when you're a defender, right, that really frustrates you.
Well, he can get shots off very adeptly and from many different shot angles with a man on his hands, which is a skill. Nice take there. I think that's by Meyer, right?
Stark, it was.
Stark, that's a great, nice take.
Kirchner. Sagiter with the hustle.
Yep, no, outside of the zone here. Look here.
So Northport a year ago, you lose a lot, right, with those attackmen gone. So a little bit of a different look. Other than Meyer, you move guys up from second midfield to first midfield, but you've got a pair of starting attackmen in Stark, who was kind of like your fourth guy last year. Now he's your second guy, and Murphy really didn't see a lot of time, even though he's a senior this year. So it's going to be a work in progress, I think, on this end of the field as Meyer spins, turns, fires wide.
And you can see Myers, the depth of Myers' game there, right? Going down the side, lefty, rolling it back, taking that shot.
And now your fourth attackman for Northport is a freshman in Jack Delaberti,
who they think very highly of,
Yep.
right? They think he's going to be a very, very good player. But obviously still a freshman.
Here's Hellrigel. Stark slings it. McNaughton up top. Little bull dodge. McNaughton hands off to Stark. Meyer, and that pass is off the mark. Tried to get it to McNaughton.
That was probably the most comfortable they have looked tonight, though, moving the ball. They had some good rhythm right there and a couple good shots and a little errant pass again, which, have to clean up that perimeter stick work. But, once again, when you're in that kind of a defensive look, you just got to let them make their own mistakes, and not try to allow them to open.
Now we're seeing a little ride here for Northport, creating a turnover at midfield. Tigers off and running. And again, just off some of these passes. Here's Meyer trying to save it. Sagiter.
Nice ground ball. No, I spoke too soon.
No, I think you spoke right, because Sagiter's getting it. Although he stepped out. Or did he call a timeout?
Looks like it's Northport ball. But how about Miller about to come around the corner? He's always around.
.45 left. First game of the year here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford, being presented by Bethpage Federal Credit Union.
think when you have a small roster, a small school like Mount Sinai, you're playing a few less guys. Obviously, some very less guys, but very talented players. The way they're playing defense right now conserves a little energy.
Flag on Mount Sinai as that'll be a slash.
Northport will go man up for a minute.
It was Meyer who was under duress. And this is where we saw Delaberti earlier. He's in on the man up.
Looks like Brett Spelina will be in the box that time. A little overzealous. We know Brett's a physical player and he gets after you. That's the way he plays.
1 minute for slashing.
So Northport, their second man up opportunity. They're 0 for 1 on the game.
Looks like they have the lock on Meyer again, trying to take him away. See if they stay in it the whole time or they ghost and get back in and let him be part of it a little bit.
Kirchner. Little bouncer back to Hellrigel. Here's Stark. Swings it. Good fake. GLE, and that's your freshman right there with a good look.
That's a great little stick fake right there and stepping under on the man up. And right now, you've practiced only a small number of days so far. I don't know how much Northport has thought about, well, if they lock Meyer, what do we got? You may have something in, but you don't got a lot in yet. 3 weeks from now, this will look a lot different.
Kirchner. Delaberti turns and fires. No backup there, so it'll be Mount Sinai ball.
Great run out by Seguida right there. Just anticipation and seeing that shot coming and running it out.
And now we'll get back into play. So final 20 seconds or so on this man up opportunity. Should be pretty easily killed here by the Mustangs. Here's Seguida. I have really liked his game. Failure to advance.
Yeah, they kind of took a little bit of time there. You were making the penalty, trying to run out, trying to clear it down a man. Here's Miller again. But trying to clear it down a man. I actually thought maybe Coach Drum might have called timeout to just have a little more time to work with it, but
Northport, preseason #1 in the coaches poll in Suffolk County. #2, Ward Melville, who we'll see tomorrow out at Garden City. But a lot of parity, right? You kind of go 1 through 5 a little bit in Suffolk A, and any one of those teams, you got Bayshore in there, you've got Smithtown East, Sachem's, both of them, Huntington, off the post with that opportunity.
Meyer will catch that little throwback and stepping into it.
And Mount Sinai, even though they're a smaller school, they've got incredible competition as well. Obviously, their biggest rival is Shore and Wading River. Look forward to that game. We'll have that for you as well on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Also, Bayport Blue Point as well. This was a timeout called by Drum. So those are pretty much the 3 top teams, right? And
well, Dylan, the BCD League in Suffolk is one of the toughest leagues on Long Island. The toughest league, I believe, on Long Island, top to bottom. And you see they have a whole bunch of those games on the schedule. There's a bunch of those teams represented. West Islip, Bayport Blue Point. We covered that game last year. That was a great game. But Shore, Wading River, Mount Sinai. That BCD League is very tough.
how about a little Del Barton and St. Anthony's, little Chaminade St. Anthony's as well. Look, you want to hit that subscribe button on the bottom right of your screen to get all our notifications on what our next game is. Listen, one of the great things about, I think, lacrosse on Long Island is you've got all these big games, right? The Woodstick, Reeves Rock. They're all back this year. St. Anthony's plays an incredible non-league schedule. We've got a bunch of their non-league games as well. We've got some incredible girls games as well, right? Gains for Brains with Andrew Rappaport out at Cold Spring Harbor. That should be a lot of fun. So, again, subscribe, bottom right of your screen. You can find out where we are in that. I think we'll have more games as well. Like, this is just the beginning of our of our schedule.
And that's a lot, and there'll be more to go. And I think everyone, it's just like so excited to be back in a regular season cycle, and like everyone's just over the top. Just I'll play this guy, I'll play that guy, I'll play him, I'll play those guys, and just excited to be playing. And we got a season in last year, thankfully for the kids, but it was a shortened season, and we started in May and ended in June, and it was a race, But here we got the marathon this year, It's pretty cool.
So off the restart, little step in and a trot backwards.
Kind of feel like Mount Sinai hasn't played a lot of settled offense lately.
Yeah,
a little bit of settled offense, a little bit off the riding, some goals, and this would be their chance to play a little. I haven't played a lot of 6-on-6. It seems like in the last half a quarter or so.
Well, when you get what you do off your ride, right? Like, kind of takes away from this opportunity, right, to kind of get into your settled offense.
Sure, and the face-offs have been pretty even, I think, but back and forth. And with the help of the wings from Mount Sinai, they've won a couple more draws. I think maybe Koparanchik's had a pretty good rhythm going in the second and third quarter.
Spelina at X splits a couple guys, turns away from that.
Trying to deny Joey the ball a little bit, covering him with Miller there.
Yeah, there is that matchup. Miller on Spelina. Spelina. Now the double comes. Spelina gets out of that. Jumps. That shot wide. I wanted more of this earlier because this is a lot of fun, man. Miller against Spelina.
Yeah, it's a lefty versus righty matchup, right? So he's able to go stick over and go, stick over on him a little bit as opposed to a righty on a righty.
Here's Marsala.
I don't know if I'm Coach Drum with 3 minutes and change to go in the game. I think Joey doing that right now. There's a long way to go, Joe. You and Miller exchange pleasantries,
Marsala gets a step. Tries the pass. That was intercepted. He's trying to get into LaForge. GB picked up.
Nice ground ball.
And there is Zimas again. He's going to be...
Zimas is going to be good.
He's going to be really good, yeah.
And he's got a high motor. You can tell he plays with an edge to him. Coach Ross is absolutely right.
Junior as well. So you got him and Miller back again, right?
And there's a lot of great players on Long Island, but there's only one Joey Spelina you're going to play against. So it's a step down from here.
Errant pass saved out at midfield. You love how hard.
What a save right there. That's a great. Listen, there's 2 minutes and change to go in the game. The game's been decided, but that was Coretta, right?
Number 8, yeah.
What a great effort right there. That's why I love Coretta. He brings all that to the game. Didn't have to do that. Could have gone over. Nobody would have said anything.
It wouldn't have changed likely the outcome, but it doesn't matter. And that's what little plays like that are kind of part of the construction of a championship team.
Absolutely. Everyone's got a role, and everybody knows their role and they fill into it, and it's obviously appreciated. You can tell. A lot of high lacrosse IQ kids playing here and know what more good plays are.
Stall warning is on, so they've got to keep in the box. Spelina turns. Another fake and another goal for Joey Spelina, his 6th of the game.
There's the icing in the cake right there. Icing on the cake for the game right there for Joey getting his 6th of the game.
Just kind of toying with guys, huh?
Coming off the pick. Trying to get a double team there. They kind of created that role. I think they were trying to get the goalie out to a player and then create the double team. But Joey made it happen faster than the Northport guys wanted, I think. If you know what I mean, before they were organized in their scenarios.
So Oppenheim back in at the face-off X against Koparanchik. Tomorrow we'll get to see another one of the better, if not the best, face-off guy on Long Island, and Jack Cascadden as Garden City takes on Ward Melville.
He'll be the biggest face-off guy on Long Island. I'll tell you that right now. We scrimmaged against Garden City the other day, and wonderful kid, Jack Cascadden, and great sense of humor too. I like talking to him, being around him. But You know, they list him at, 6'3", 225 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
He is all of that. I'll tell you that right now, and then some.
Kirchner, cross-country runner, can run for days, gets in the box. Final minute 24. Got a couple fun things for you after the game as well. We've got our breakout goaltending save of the game, so we'll decide that one, although I think we have an idea already of that save, and we'll also have an interview with our varsity media player of the game, and I think you also have an idea of who that will be.
Gee. Got to reach deep on that one, Dylan, huh?
Stark! Oh, good denial up top.
Tell you what, I tell you what, you're standing in the goal down there, you know. Wilkin, I think he heard you said you might have decided to break out save of the game, so he makes one more to create a challenge right now.
12-3. I don't think either. Did you see this coming in?
Now. I did not see this coming in. And I can't wait to hear somebody say, "Oh, Stephen, Northport guys aren't that good." That'll drive me bonkers, because I just think a lot of this speaks to the incredible talent of Mount Sinai. Not about anything lacking in the game from Northport. I think Mount Sinai they are prime time ready, you know. Stark there, right?
Yeah.
He's shown me something today, Stark. He's been a little jitterbug around and making some moves, and we had a flag down on the offside.
Well, they're going to wave it off, yeah.
Wave that off. But I'm impressed by him, and obviously Meyer can do some things, and you know the offense always comes a little slower than defense in the beginning of a season, unless when you're the Mount Sinai guys, you have all these guys back who played together. It's a good job by Stark getting under and finishing.
Should be a big year for the senior. A change of pace guy, can dodge from X. He can play on the left wing a little bit. Kind of put him anywhere in the attack and can feature for his team. 12-3 with 9 seconds left. Give Kirchner an assist. Face-off win by Cooper Ranchek. What I love about the face-off guys is all of these count, right? Because you got your percentage, you've got your numbers,
sure.
right? You gotta.
They all count.
Yeah.
They all count. Absolutely.
So big opening night win for Mount Sinai. 12-3, the defending Long Island Class C champions defeat the defending Long Island Class A champions. Just a thorough, great effort, I think, by Mount Sinai. Look, obviously they have a star player, and we'll speak with him in a moment in our post-game interview, Joey Spelina. But you can go up and down this lineup, and again, as you mentioned, right, a smaller lineup, right, being a small school, but a lot of guys who can ball, and on both sides of the ball.
Well, the obvious thing is you look at the score, right? It's 12-4 is the final score, but I think it's the things that Mount Sinai does that are really obvious, picking up ground balls, riding, physical, that type of thing. Very impressive.
Take a quick break, get you the player of the game as well as our breakout goaltending save of the game when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Mount Sinai. Dylan Butler here with Mike Hungerford. Game 1 in the books of the 2022 Long Island Lacrosse season, and a big win for Mount Sinai. 12-4 is your final score. We'll get an interview in a moment with our player of the game, Joey Spelina. Listen, I think anybody's with a last name Spelina today I was impressed with as well, right? Jake and Brett both played really well, too. And this is a fun thing, too, for Joey because Brett was a guy who wasn't really on the field a lot last year. Now he's a starting long pole, and so a chance to kind of play with all his brothers. He'll obviously get that chance again in college as well. But we'll be joined momentarily now with our varsity media player of the game.
What's up? What's going on, guys?
It is Joey Spelina. Joey, you got Dylan Butler here, Mike Hungerford as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On a really impressive first game of the year. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think our first half of play was that well. I didn't think we shot well, but I think we played hard. I mean, they're obviously a great team, and I mean, we had a great game. I mean, they're obviously tough, so we just came out. We played hard. We actually were riding probably the best we have since my 8th grade years, which is exciting. But, I mean, yeah, they're obviously a great team, so it's a good first game for us.
Joe, when getting ready, preparation for the game, obviously only 7-8 days of practice before the first game, right?
Yep.
So, but you guys have a lot of familiarity with each other, a lot of chemistry. But what were you thinking? What were your thoughts going in? How they were going to defend you? Or what were you expecting?
I mean, I was expecting actually another defender than the kid that was on me, but he got hurt during football. So, I mean, we just knew that they were obviously a great team. They were the Class A champs, so we knew that they were going to be tough, and we obviously had to come out and play tough too. But I mean, yeah, they're obviously a great team, and we played okay today.
Joey, how cool was that too? Just to kind of under the lights, first game of the year, defending Long Island champions, just
No doubt.
Battling each other. That must have just been fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the better places to play on Long Island, I think. So to obviously play our first game against a great team at obviously 7 o'clock at night is pretty cool.
Well, I got to say, if this was just all right in terms of the way that you played, look out the rest of Long Island. I mean, because the Mustangs are coming, huh? I mean, you guys were, to us up here in the booth at least, we were impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's Joey Spelina, our player of the game. Congratulations. 6 goals, 2 assists. Big win for the Mustangs. We wish you the best of luck as well.
Thank you, guys.
Forward as well.
Yep.
All right, Joey.
Good luck, Joe.
Thanks.
So that is our varsity media player of the game, Joey Spelina. And now a really fun feature. Of course, we thank the folks at Breakout Goaltending. It'll be our Breakout Goaltending save of the game. We had a few to work with here, but I think we're going with this one with Luke Lamondola, right?
Luke Lamondola with a save off a turnover. Joey gets the ball about middle of the goal, about 12 yards out, and rifles one at the goal. And Luke Lamondola, first-year starter in his first game. He's a third-string goalie a year ago. I think they might have said that, right? Comes up to the challenge, and that is our Breakout Goaltending Group save of the game. Breakout Goaltending Group. Weekly training on Long Island, large number of kids we train, boys and girls of all abilities, 52 weeks a year.
That was a really good save, one of many on the night for Luke Lamondola. He's the first of what will be many breakout goaltending saves of the game. So that'll about do it here from us here at Mount Sinai. Again, big one tomorrow. First, want to thank our crew, of course, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, my broadcast partner, Mike Hungerford, director extraordinaire, Chris Sweeney, and the guys giving you all those moving images, Angelo Caezo and Ron Pierre. So, final score, again, 12-4 in favor of Mount Sinai. We want you to join us tomorrow as well, tomorrow afternoon, as it's Garden City and Ward Melville out at Garden City at 3 o'clock. Early face-off for that one at Garden City, but that should be a lot of fun as well. 2 of the Blue Bloods on Long Island. So that's a wrap here from Mount Sinai. I want to thank everyone for joining us. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow and in future live broadcasts as well on the Varsity Media Sports Network.